Hello, praise the Lord. Uh, it's a little over an hour left for me to step into 2025, but I know that there are many parts in the world that have already stepped into 2025, and nevertheless, I wanted to share God's promise for His people for the year 2025. And the Lord is saying that the year 2025 is the year of breakthrough. Many of you have been oppressed. Many of you have been waiting for God to answer your prayers, that you have been praying not just in 2024, but even longer. But God is saying that this is the year of breakthrough. And the inspiration for this word God showed me Exodus chapter 14, where the Egyptian army, after letting the Israelites leave Egypt, they still pursued them, and they still wanted to go and bring them back. They changed their minds. They gave them freedom, and then they changed their minds, and they were pursuing the Israelites who were camping right by the Red Sea. And in this point, when the Egyptians started pursuing them in the desert, they assumed that the Israelites, they must be surrounded in the desert. It's dark out there. They don't know where they're going. This is the opportunity we can attack them. But they didn't know that God had them standing by the sea, that they had already reached the shore of the Red Sea. And they don't know, the Egyptians didn't know that God was leading the Israelites in a pillar of cloud by the day and a pillar of fire by night. So they could actually see where they were going. They were not overwhelmed by the desert. And I was reading the inspiration for this year. A few things stood out to me. One, God purposely hardened the hearts of the Egyptians, made them to change their minds. He knew that they would change their minds, but still, he made that desire so strong that they came into the desert, chasing the Israelites down, that they would pursue them. And God said that I would gain glory through Pharaoh and his army. I would gain glory in this. It's all right. They might the fight may become stronger. It's okay. I will still get the glory. And no matter what situation you have been in, where it has been so hard, you have been praying for years and years, and there just doesn't seem to be an answer. In fact, things are getting even worse. I want to encourage you with this, that God will get the glory even in that, and that He is doing it so that He will get the glory. I know it's very hard to digest, especially if you have been struggling, if you have been praying for a long time for answers and it keeps getting worse. It's hard to trust God. But trust me, because even in this chapter, you see that that even when the Egyptians were pursuing the Israelites, then it says that the pillar of cloud that was actually going before the Israelites, before the army, means it was guiding them. It moved and went behind the Israelites. So the pillar of cloud was standing between the Israelites and the Egyptian army, right? He was leading them during the day, but then when the Egyptians came into the picture, this pillar went behind them, and this cloud stood in such a way that it was dark, cloudy weather for the Egyptians. Right? Just imagine if there was a pillar of light in front of me, a cloud in front of me, and it goes behind me, and on my side, right, like towards me, it's actually bright and it's projecting light, but on the other side it's dark clouds, right? And so what the Egyptians were seeing were dark, cloudy weather, but what the Israelites were seeing was bright, right? It was a lot of light. It was clear for them, clear as day. And in this moment, when the Israelites were stricken with fear. They were like, "Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? We could have just continued being in slavery instead of coming here in the desert and dying." And then God told Moses, he said, "Why are you crying to me? Just take your staff, dip it in the Red Sea, and it will part for you. There will be a miracle. I will make a way. I cannot leave you like this." And the Red Sea parts, and the entire Israelite clan, all the clans, they all walk on dry ground. And the Bible clearly states that the Red Sea parted, and to their left, to their right, it was like walls, and they were walking on dry ground. And once they got to the other side, Moses yet again raises his staff over the water. And the Egyptians, they were so persistent, they even came into the Red Sea. So this pillar of cloud was not stagnant. It was moving with the Israelites, right? As they were walking, this pillar of cloud was ushering them. It was corralling this entire Israelite nation across the Red Sea. They were like, "Just go on. I'm behind you. I'm helping you." And on the other side of that pillar of light was darkness. And these two never met, right? Nobody crossed paths. And once the entire Israelite nation was on the other side of the Red Sea, the waters went back in place. And the and and it clearly states in Exodus 14 that all of Egypt's armies, all of Pharaoh's armies that entered the Red Sea, the dry ground following the Israelites, they all were overwhelmed by the water, and the water overtook them, and they drowned, and their dead bodies washed up ashore. And when the people, the Egyptians as well as the Israelites, when they saw this, they feared the Lord, and they listened to Moses. And the Egyptians, they knew that this God, he is the Lord. He is fighting for the Israelites. We have to go back. We cannot fight against them anymore. And the promise that God is giving you, giving the church for this year, is Exodus chapter 14, verses 13 and 14. I'm going to read it. Moses answered the people. He said, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance of the Lord will bring you, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only be still." That is the word for you for this year. This is your breakthrough. This is your year of breakthrough. You do not have to fight. You need only be still, because God is fighting for you. It doesn't matter how many years you have been waiting for breakthrough. This is the year God is making a way for you where there seems to be no way. God bless you. I hope you receive this in love. I hope you receive this word, and you will see that God is going to do miracles. God bless you all. Praise the Lord, and Happy New Year.